Welcome back to Everybody Doesn't Need a Podcast.
I'm Tiyoda.
And I'm Sharis. And by the end of this, you're probably going to want to take our mics.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girls. Long time no see.
It's been a while.
It's been a long while. Y'all look at my hair. Look. Switch it up on to make it feel like you're cheating. I know that's right.
It's been a long day.
Y'all got my little install today. I got these 28-inch Peruvian bundles,
What's your vendor?
We ain't gonna talk about all of that right now. I'll tell you off of camera. I don't need them to go, out of stock, and then I can't get my hair.
Don't you hate that though when you talk about something, a product, and then
yes.
people buy it?
Or just when anybody talk about a product that you've been using,
and then
you go to the store, you can't never find it, like Espelon Repo. You know what? I'm not gonna get into this because if I start, I'm not gonna freaking stop. That ain't got nothing to do with what we're talking about today. Or maybe it does. Kind of a little bit. It goes into.
Are we the drunk generation?
Oh my God, we're definitely the drunk generation.
No, because whatever they were, they had to do prohibition because they was drinking so much. They had to outlaw liquor,
and they was sneaking and still drinking that shit too.
So
no, we're probably the reason they're gonna bring prohibition the fuck back. Yes.
Could you imagine? Like, y'all are drinking too much. We're putting I'm
gonna learn how to make my own hooch. Look, I know people that have been to jail. I know how to put some bread and some orange peels into a trash bag and let it ferment under my mattress for 5 days, and then it's gonna start turning into alcohol.
Cloud and Ray.
I watch Lockup.
Cloud and Ray. I watch Life
all the time. I used to watch Lockup all the time.
I watched like a couple episodes.
Oh my God, I used to watch every episode. But yeah, today's episode is about, millennials and how we're the GOAT generation. Debate your grandma. It's not my fault she's a boomer.
Can we get some commotion for the generation?
No, but for real, like, we was sitting here thinking about it. We was like, dang, we kind of dope. Like, I feel bad for the ones before us, and I feel so bad for the ones after us because we really have lived a life. And 30 years from now, we're going to talk about the life that we lived 30 years ago, and it's going to be a life. Like,
I really want to get a history book of like,
oh yes, in 30 years,
see what they're talking about.
They literally had to rewrite history for us and for us alone. I swear, we done did some things, and we are so proud of it. So we're just gonna go through some of those things today, give our opinions on the things that we went through, and just talk about why we are the GOAT generation. Like, who's better than us? Fuck them baby boomers. I said what I said. Debate your grandmother.
What if she's dead?
I have nothing to say on that topic. Thank you.
Okay, so when you think of what's the I just had a brain confuddle.
Okay, well that's fine. We can have a little brain fart here and there because I ain't editing nothing now. I'm tired of editing everything. So whatever we say, it's gonna make it.
So what is one of the big life-changing things you think happened? That happened? What's your top one that comes to your mind when you think about
number one, 9/11.
9/11. Cause the trauma of us, little kids watching TV, and that is happening.
Can I tell y'all my 9/11 story real quick?
Yeah.
Like, can I get into this? Okay, I was in 3rd grade. I was living in Dillon, South Carolina. I went to East Elementary School. Oh my God. I went to East Elementary School. Okay.
Elementary high.
I was in 3rd grade. I was 8 years old. So
were you in 3rd grade?
Yes, I was in 3rd grade. I was in 3rd grade. No, okay. So listen, we're sitting in class. One of the teachers come running down the hallway. Everybody turn the TV. Everybody turn the TV. So all the teachers turned the TV. We ain't had no cable. We only had ABC, CBS, Fox. Automatically, of course, the news is on. Literally, as soon as our teacher turned on the TV, the second plane hit. And of course, the teacher that was telling everybody to come on the TV didn't know another plane was going to hit. So she didn't know that she just traumatized a whole floor. All the 3rd class was on the 2nd floor of the school. And traumatized every single child up there because as soon as we got the TV turned on, second plane, boom. My dumb ass. I'm 8, so don't judge me too much. I bust out crying. I'm hysterical. My teacher was like, "Oh my gosh, Sharis, is somebody you know live in New York? Do they work in the Twin Towers?" Me. No, it's my daddy's birthday. I thought that because something bad was happening to the world, it was my daddy's fault, and it was on his birthday. I was distraught. They had to call my mama.
So innocent.
They had to call my mama. My mama couldn't call me my mama couldn't calm me down. She had to call my daddy. He had to call off work and come pick me up, and I had to spend the night with him because I was so scared that something bad was gonna happen to him.
Because it was his birthday.
Then the next day I go to school, 9/12, and this little white boy in my class was like, "Isn't your mom from Turkey?" And I was like, "Yeah." "It's your people's fault, you terrorists." Oh my God, I cried again. She had to come pick me up again. My mama said, Sharis, not pick me up no more. Like, we ain't do nothing. We had no parts of this. Listen, between my daddy and my terrorist ass mama, I didn't know what was going on, okay? That's all I knew, 8 years old, that it was all my fault and that I was going to jail because some planes hit a building.
My God.
It's the most traumatizing moment of my life.
I remember walking in the house and it was on the TV and I was like, what's going on? You know, as kids, you don't really understand. So I didn't really understand it was like this big thing.
Man, lucky you.
And I was just like, well, what is happening? Why is everybody freaking out about this airplane? And then we sat and it was on every day. And that's when you realize the gravity of it. But I still don't think I realized until like as an adult, the gravity of that situation. People getting on hijacking planes. Where did all of them hit? One hit.
So two hit the towers.
One hit the Pentagon.
And then it was a field in Pennsylvania
where they took over the plane.
But that one, I think they said that one was headed for White House, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But they ended up crashing it into a field.
Yeah.
Now, don't quote me on it hit like aiming for the White House, but I think that's where it was going. That was like
that's the one where that guy's phone calls to his wife kept going.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it wasn't going viral then because we didn't have social media, but when he was like, we're gonna take over the plane, and she was like, no, don't do it, someone will help. No, nobody was gonna help.
Nobody was gonna
help. That is brave to do, and for them to be the only plane that did that, that's crazy.
And it's crazy to think like of how different airports and stuff is
how
now.
That changed airports.
Like I traveled way back then. Like, I mean, I was born in Germany, so like I came to America, but also like I've been on planes as like a 3-4-year-old, and I don't really remember it, of course. I was so young, but I remember hearing stories of like, dang, we got to do all this stuff different. And that's why security lines are so long. And especially like right after it happened, when they finally opened up airports, having to get the 3 ounce that you can bring. You can't bring no food and no drinks onto the plane unless you get them after security. And just like how much they had to like ramp up on things. And then just to see how anybody that was Muslim or Sikh or that wore a hijab or whatever it may be was getting like attacked. And they weren't the ones that had to do nothing with it, you know?
Just because.
Have you ever seen the video of George Bush, of them telling him what happened? He was reading to them kids.
Yeah.
Listen, his reaction, I was just like,
You cannot be a millennial without thinking of George Bush.
Listen, I'm just saying.
Bush.
You know something that's crazy is about our generation, like as a whole, and we'll get into it more as we start getting to some of the topics of how like low-key desensitized we become to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And how we also make jokes of everything.
Of trauma.
Because in no way, shape, or form do I think 9/11 was funny. Like nothing about 9/11 is funny. George Bush's reaction to what they told him reading to them kids, that shit was funny. Somebody throwing that fucking shoe at George Bush was funny. Like
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Funny. Shit like that is hilarious. I'm sorry. It's just hilarious. Like things that happen after these sad situations. Them shit be funny as a motherfucker. I can't even lie. Not even gonna sit here and lie to you. But that's definitely my first like big traumatizing thing that I can remember happened to me that happened like in our generation. Because we kind of are at the end of the millennial generation. Like it's between 1981 and 1996. We were born in 92, 93. So we were at the, the people that's older than us, y'all probably remember some stuff that happened, but
I think that's really the first big event I remember also. Well, I guess thinking back, but when I really think of what I paid attention to, it was the Bush election. That's the first thing I remember paying attention to, how he cheated his way into that White House.
It was Florida, right?
Yes, he cheated
Florida.
In Florida.
Ain't it always Florida?
Come on.
I remember being in like
internet.
I remember being in like second grade. Well, did he do Al Gore first or the other dude first? John Kerry first. I think it was Kerry Bush first, and then Gore.
Kerry Bush, and then Gore.
Because I remember in second grade we used to get them Scholastic readers, and on the back of one of them it said like, "Who would y'all vote for?" We in second grade. I don't know about voting. And I remember my whole class wrote Kerry. We didn't know nothing about nothing. Like 9/11 ain't even happened yet at this point. We didn't know nothing, and the whole class said Kerry.
I remember my family. That's why it's etched in my brain. I really think that's the first time anybody in my family voted, was just so Bush would not be president. And I'm like, well, what's so wrong with this man?
Yeah.
And that y'all hate him so bad. And I remember, my cousin packed up my mama, my grandmama, my aunt. They all went down to the voting station to vote for. It was his second one. So who was it?
The second one was Gore, if I'm not mistaken.
To vote for Al Gore. My brother was going to the army, or was he already in the army? He might have already been.
It would have been the 2004 election.
Well, yeah, he was already there. Yeah, because my mama did not want him to go to Iraq. She was so scared. And when we sat and watched those results, that's the first election I ever watched. They were so upset about that thing.
Like,
I was like, what?
I just the only reason I really remember like that is because, like I said, that whole second grade thing. We didn't know nothing about no president. It was just, we all just,
and we had no idea why everybody hated him.
Yeah, and I mean, we get it now. And
I like Bush.
It's crazy though, because I don't know what George Bush did to have this redeeming ass arc. I don't know if it's because he loves Michelle Obama so much.
And honestly, it's also because people hated Trump so bad that it made George.
It made everybody look good. It made
maybe George ain't too bad.
It made Richard Nixon look good. Okay, it made every dang on president before him look like God. But his relationship with Michelle just like
he adores her.
Maybe George Bush as a human ain't that bad.
Like, you know.
I mean, because look, talking about Trump. Trump as a human is one of the funniest people I've ever seen on the internet.
He's hilarious. Like, I do see why people would like him in some aspects.
Like,
but
I mean, president-wise, horrible.
He should never have even been given the opportunity to be
president. If y'all was not on Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter, when Trump was on there, oh my God.
Rants, I wish he could get on Twitter now with this indictment he's going through. I would love to see
what he got to say.
What he is saying.
Maybe he on Threads. Maybe we should download Threads and look it up.
I thought that was for Black Twitter only.
Oh, I think it's just Instagram's Twitter.
Oh.
I just ain't signed up for it yet.
I don't think I'm going to sign up for it because they said if you delete it, it deletes your Instagram account as well.
Yeah, it does. So you can't delete it. But, maybe
you
when
remember
they
Bush choking on that pretzel? Bush has had so many moments.
Listen.
He was choking on a pretzel, and so they would not serve pretzels in the White House anymore because of that.
That's wild. I never even heard that, but that's funny as shit.
On that it was a Medea play. I don't know which one it was. She was talking, and she was like, "But don't give me no pretzels. Don't give me no pretzels." Like, Bush, he choked on the pretzel.
That's so wild. I just thought the funniest Bush thing, that man threw that shoe at him, and he was like,
he's like, Bush is really our first president.
Bro, you know how bold you gotta be? You know how bold you gotta be? Take off your shoe and chuck the shit at the president.
And then Kanye on the telethon. George Bush does not like Black people.
It was, first off.
Who was it beside him?
It was Kanye and Michael Myers, the dude who played Austin Powers.
He just said.
And it was Chris Rock, but he was off screen. And when he said it, Mike Myers was like, look, and they just like cut to Chris Rock. Chris Rock was like, you could tell Chris Rock just got done laughing. Yeah. He was like, and started reading. But you know what's crazy? We just said how like Bush is like our first president. Mm-hmm. President before Bush is also a part of the millennial, the millennial reign or whatever.
That's my dog.
And technically the one before him and the one before him went back to 81. But shout out to Bill Clinton.
Shout out to Bill Clinton. Listen, Bush birthed me. I'm a political baby, y'all. I love politics. Bush birthed me. But let's talk about my cousin Clinton.
Listen, shout out to Bill Clinton, okay? I don't care what nobody say. Bill Clinton might be the most gangster man to ever step foot in that goddamn White House. That man was doing stuff with cigars, child.
My daddy swears that he's Black. And that he's also a Kennedy.
Okay.
He swears.
I can believe the whole Kennedy thing. There is a picture of them, young Bill Clinton and President Kennedy.
He said he's a Kennedy and he just changed his name so that he would escape the curse.
I mean, I feel him. I had to escape my name to escape that damn escape my name.
Good old Bill and good old Hill. I love Hillary.
Shout out to Hillary. Definitely voted for Hillary.
Oh God, that's something else we had to live through.
Listen,
that was so crushing.
Them damn emails. I
want her to release something so bad that says, but emails. I want her to say it.
I would buy anything that she sells that says something about the emails.
But y'all was worried about emails.
Like emails. But you know what's crazy? I have no idea who her vice president candidate was.
You do know him.
I do not know
Why don't you ever remember him?
I don't know this man.
Isn't he? No, he's from.
So sorry.
He's from Virginia.
Well, I'm from South Carolina. What's that supposed to mean?
Damn, no, you're from Tennessee.
So sorry to that man. I do not know that man. Like he could walk past me right now. In the words of Keke Palmer, I do not know that man. So sorry to that man. I don't even know his name. What's his name?
Tom Kane, ain't it? Yeah, that's his name.
That's me phone.
He came. You didn't go with me to her rally.
Wasn't me, wrong bitch.
Wow, isn't that his name?
I don't know. You can look it up. Why are you looking it up?
Talk about Monica while I'm looking it up.
I mean, we could talk about Miss Monica, Miss Blue Dress that she kept. She said, "I'm gonna have some evidence against you." And you know what? That's nasty. That's nasty, Monica. Monica, if you listening, that shit's nasty. But I feel you, because ain't no man about to lie on me when I know you did what you did. So I probably would have kept the dress too, but that's kind of nasty. Having a dress hanging up in your closet and it got skeet all over it. That's kind of gross.
So
his name won't Tim.
No,
Kaine,
I was talking about that. I was about to talk about that situation. I swear that's his name, but I'm trying to pull it up. I just got distracted.
So sorry to that man. We ain't got no name. You ain't got no name.
Why won't he pop up anywhere?
Because he don't exist. She didn't have no vice president.
Bruh, I met him.
No, you did not. You think you met him.
I have pictures with him.
You met her son. She don't got no son. I think she just got Chelsea.
Let me see. Who was Hillary? I did, and it wasn't up there.
Well, because I want to get into the next person.
No, we got to talk about. It was Tim Kaine. I was like, okay. I know I'm not tripping. Okay.
Shout
Monica
out to
Lewinsky
Lewinsky
and Bill Clinton.
And Bill Clinton.
So, yeah, she started off as an intern, as we all know. Worked her way up, was flirting with Bill.
She a millennial.
I don't know how old Monica. No, she's whatever is before us.
Let's look at what year she was born. Keep talking. Go ahead. Tell them about her.
So yeah, she worked her way up into Bill's little office. Honestly, if we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it. She stalked her way up to the president. Everybody wants to be woe is Monica. Monica knew what she was doing. Yes, she was a young girl.
Oh, okay.
The president is very influential. He didn't have to feed into it, but that also wasn't what people like to forget. That wasn't her first time doing it. She did the same thing with a college professor, a married man as well. Like she was a fat, chubby girl in the 90s who was insecure, and the president paid attention to her, so it made her do things. But they never had sex. They both said that.
Yeah, but he said
he did not have sexual relations with that woman.
So allegedly sticking a cigar into her vagina repeatedly is not sexual relations.
He didn't put his cigar in there. And Bill was hot back there. Honestly,
his would have been a cigarette. His would have been a bogey. Would have been a damn cigar.
And then, that lady, she's the one who started recording all of Monica's conversations. And that's why she was going to take the dress to get clean. But the lady told her to keep it.
I mean, listen.
They set Monica up.
I mean.
They did set her up.
Like I said, keeping the dress is nasty. But if I know for a fact you done did some shit and you really trying to lie, make me look bad. Oh, nah. Here, DNA swap this dress. I remember my high school U.S. history teacher showed us a picture of the dress.
The dress?
And I was like, ew.
Poor Hillary.
I was still a virgin, so seeing stuff like that was a little to me.
Poor Hillary just had to go through all of that.
Oh.
I would never forget that little press conference they did, and she was like, I'm not Tammy Wynette standing by my man. Poor Hillary. But do you know it's rumored that in the background of his presidential picture, it's a shadow of Monica in the dress.
I believe it.
They said it's rumored.
I believe it. I believe it.
We're gonna move on from Bill, and also Hillary was actually the president. She did it all.
I mean, you wanna die on that hill? Because ain't it something that happened during Bill's thing that affected black folks? Let's leave that one on Bill. Let's leave Hillary out of that one. Oh. Sorry, Crime Bill of '92 or whatever year that was. But who's the first person you voted for?
You voted for Al Gore.
I voted for John Kerry.
Oh yeah, John. Kerry.
Don't be on Al Gore's internet lying about my first vote.
I wonder where John Kerry is now, but
where's Al Gore at now?
Running the internet, child.
Nah, this man Bill Gates. But who the first person you voted for?
Oh, BZ.
Oh, okay, same. Do you remember where you voted at?
North Carolina Central University.
I did too. It was his second one because we weren't old enough for his first one.
Oh my God. So let's talk about that. Where were you when you first realized a black man was running for president?
I was in Dillon, South Carolina.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly where I was at.
I don't remember anything before. I don't remember when it was announced or none of that. I don't think it registered to me.
Well, I think that's when we was going through our no cable type thing. So we only had ABC, CBS, Fox. So it was like American Idol, Entertainment Tonight, News, and it was all over the news.
I can't remember my first.
And I also lived in like a smaller town, was like with all the black folks. So we all knew.
I don't remember like the first time I heard it. The first thing I remember is him standing on whatever it was and waving, and I was like, "Who is that?" And I was like, "Oh, he's running."
I remember my first time seeing him. I said, "Oh, he fine." That's the first thing I thought. He fine. I was like, "Oh, listen,
yeah,
Mr. Barack Obama, you are a very handsome man. Michelle, you did good because that man looks good." Okay.
The day that he won.
I said, "Do you remember you was there when he won?"
Yeah, I remember I was at home.
I was at home too. I was in bed, and they were still counting the votes. So I was like on my phone, and I had like drifted off, and it felt like, you know, you be like falling asleep, and something just wake you up real quick. Soon as I hit that, I'm asleep. My stepdad was in the living room. Hell yeah, hell yeah! And my stepdad didn't curse around us, so me hear that, I jump up like, and I look at the TV, and whatever I was watching had already flashed over to it being official. And I got on my phone, started calling everybody. Oh my God, you watching this?
I just remember everybody. I remember, it's so crazy. I remember praying that he did not win. I was like, please let him win, because everybody kept saying he was going to get assassinated. I was like, oh my God,
you didn't want that to happen.
If he wins, somebody's going to kill him. I was like, don't let him win, don't let him win. And I went to sleep, and they said it was president. I was so scared until I went to school, and I'll never forget my teacher, Mr. Gates, the white man, was running down the hall. We got a black president. We got a black president.
When I say it was like,
my eyes so getting teary.
Because
that was a moment. I had
literally drifted to sleep, and hearing my stepdad yell, hell yeah, me jumping up. I was up for the rest of the night. I probably didn't go back to bed till like 1:00 in the morning. I was like up. I stayed. I watched with him, Michelle, and their daughters being young as hell, walking on the stage and waving. So like, it was just like iconic. And then what was even more iconic to me after that was Inauguration Day, because
my birthday.
Yes.
I'm an inauguration baby.
If y'all didn't know, she's an inauguration baby. So Obama's inauguration, it don't snow in Dillon. Like, I mean, it barely snow in North Carolina, but it don't snow in South Carolina. And it definitely don't snow in Dillon. It's always fucking hot. Like, honestly, I don't even really remember wearing big jackets unless it was like our flight jackets, because everybody wouldn't wear them.
That's the night,
January 19th, it snowed in Dillon. And not only did it snow, it snowed. I'm talking about the snow was sticking. It was all over the cars, everything. Mm-hmm. We ain't go to school the next day. They canceled school because it was so much snow. They canceled school. And that was the day of the inauguration. I knew for a fact if we would have went to school, they wouldn't let us watch the inauguration in school. They would have kept classes going. It happened to snow on a day for us to be able to be home and watch. I had never watched inauguration before. Watch that was whole entire thing. Because, I mean, why not watch the one of the black president?
It was so, I mean, I remember that the kids was running down the hall blasting Young Jeezy, my president is black.
Oh my God.
Like, my president, Obama did his big one.
President is black, my Lambo blue.
I am telling you, that was something
my rims ain't too.
But also what that really brought to the light was how racist people were.
Oh,
like, you know racism exists, but it just came to the forefront for our generation to see all the people call him monkeys, call Michelle monkeys. You know, the nigger in the White House.
Do you remember the videos that came out during like Trump's when he was running, and it was people were like, all the white people was talking about Obama. I was like, he caused 9/11. He was the president when 9/11 happened. And I was just like,
citizen.
Wait, he was the president. 9/11 was 01.
Obamacare was a thing, and people. What got me was when people would walk around saying, "Would you rather have Obamacare or what's the affordable care?" And they're like,
affordable care. Same thing.
The Affordable Care Act.
Same thing.
What's so wrong with him wanting y'all to be able to have health care?
Same thing.
People were so racist; they didn't even want health care.
No, it was everything was just all bad. I'm just like, bro.
When he wore that tan suit, they went
up in arms. You would have thought this man came out and did a press conference, did the State of the Union address in his boxes.
It was a
because he had on a tan suit and he looked so good in that suit.
And you know what? For you to be president 8 years and your only scandal is a tan suit.
A tan suit. Must be doing something right.
The White House used to have so much class. I just and then for him to win again.
Everybody in Dillon was calling it the Black House. I was like, y'all so ghetto, I love it.
And he just is.
I still have my sticker from the first time I voted, and it was for Obama. I have it in my little memory book, and I voted like we both said.
Yeah. I was so happy to stand in line, like I want to vote
because I wanted to early vote. I was like, no, I want to go vote on election day. And I remember all our professors like, I haven't voted. Y'all don't have to go to class. Just vote. Just bring some kind of proof that you went to go vote. We didn't have to. We didn't have to do class. Nobody had to go classes or nothing.
And Michelle Obama came to our school.
She did. I did not go see her.
I still have my little thing. She was so cute with her little green.
Yeah, I do remember when she came. She came on a Chicken Wednesday, and the calf was empty.
We were in.
I had
waiting for Michelle.
I had 4 plates that day because I was like, the calf empty. I'm about to take advantage, and I got to get legs that day. I'm just.
And
saying.
I think that's when my friend realized, and I know it's because we're in college. I think that's when she really realized how serious the president and first lady are. Because she's like, wait, why is there so much security? I'm like, girl, this is the first lady.
Yeah, this is
this is Secret Service.
This is the first lady of the United States. Like
Obama was so goated. He what's some things he did during his presidency? Gay marriage. I remember that. I was so happy for them. They hated him so bad for that.
I was so happy too, and I'll be the first to admit it. Like younger me, I was against everything. That's just how I was raised. I was against abortions. I was against gay anything that won't Jesus. I was against it, and then got older, started being able to make my own decisions. When he finally made it legal to for gay people to get married in all 50 states. Remember, some states would do it.
Yeah,
because it was already states could make their own law. You could do it or not. But when he made it where every state can do it, I was like, oh, this is dope as hell. Go get married. And everybody went and got married. Every gay couple that had been together since we were 4 went and got married. My auntie and her roommate.
What's his
shout
name?
out to y'all.
Osama bin Laden. Shout out to Barack.
Listen, if you were not awake that night,
if
you were not awake that night, you missed something historic.
Saddam Hussein.
Let me tell you, I was in bed watching Celebrity Apprentice.
Why are you always in bed when this stuff happens?
Because it'd be late at night. I was in bed watching Celebrity Apprentice, and y'all already know Trump was doing the most when it came to Obama. I need to see the birth certificate. I need to see this, that, and the third. Whatever. Celebrity Apprentice was on. It was about to go off, and Trump was in front of the people about to give his decision on who was fired. As he was talking, it cut on whatever channel came out. ABC Special News Report. Barack Obama's on TV talking about how they just killed Osama bin Laden. It was on for a good 30 minutes. Something went off. The news was on, so they got to talk about it again. We never got to see who got fired from Celebrity Apprentice. I know Trump was at home seething. I know he was mad as hell.
Oh my God, that was so crazy. The people were so scared of bin Laden. Remember anthrax? Everybody was so scared because they was putting it in the mail.
Yeah.
My mama wouldn't let us open mail because she thought it would have anthrax in it.
It was.
So I keep saying Saddam.
Bin Laden had a shoot. Yeah, it was both of them. I remember the first time I seen Bin Laden, and I was like, I understand that boy in my 3rd grade class. I get it. I get it. I see it right here. I get it. I completely got it. He was still wrong for calling me a terrorist. I was 8. I ain't do shit. And I was Turkish, not Iraqi. But I seen it. I said, okay, we kind of look like them people. I get it.
And little kids don't know nobody.
But I had just came out about being Turkish around 3rd grade. I was still thinking I was just black because my mama didn't want us to know.
You didn't see your mama?
Well, my mama told us everybody we was light-skinned black because she didn't have her green card.
Oh.
And, so
all of my best friends in middle school were they were what is it called?
It was Arabs?
Yeah, they were Arabs.
Oh yeah, I'm not Arab.
I remember everybody. I couldn't walk to the bus with my friends because their parents were coming to get them. They were all crying. I just didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Shout out to my friends. I miss them.
The presidencies during the Millennials was wild. Jesus,
it was something else. Since we were talking about him, what's his name? What's his name?
Who? Osama.
Or
Saddam?
Osama. We can reel that on into the Iraqi war.
Listen,
that my brother fought in. Shout out to my brother.
So Iraqi war and the Afghanistan war,
they're the same thing, ain't it?
Well, Afghanistan and Iraq are 2 different.
But wasn't the war on terror both Iraq and Afghanistan?
The one of them was the Saddam Hussein one.
That's all the war on terror.
It's all the
same
I think
it's all grouped.
So they went to Afghanistan and Iraq. They was in both.
I think so.
I thought it was 2 different wars.
I mean, but it's all called the war on terror.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So my brother.
But I thought people were already out there fighting, and then 9/11 happened, so they sent more troops. Whatever war.
Y'all know the war we talking about that started after 9/11. My brother was there for a year, I believe.
I don't know anybody personally that was.
Yeah, my brother, and my mom was so stressed. She would cry every day. Every day she would turn on the news and watch. They would have the list of people, and she would just sit there and watch it. And I will never forget. She for Christmas she had a picture of my brother on the top of the tree, like he was the angel. I would never forget it. I'm like, girl,
I
be
cannot
for
wait to
real.
talk to your parents again because I want to talk to your mama
Girl,
about this.
my
Like,
mama
why you had
cried
Titi on
so
top of
bad.
that tree like an angel?
She just knew my brother was gonna die. Like she just knew it. I'm like, girl, ain't nothing gonna happen to him.
Oh, I mean, I get it, cause like,
yeah.
I mean, that's her only son. Like he's in like a war where they are really out there
I want to
dying.
talk to him like about that one day, but I don't want him to get like PTSD.
Well, we can ask him if
Yeah.
we can talk about
He
it.
said he's talked about some of it. I know he's seen like his friends get blown up, and I don't know. I don't get how he's normal.
Yeah, I don't know anybody.
screw me
I
up.
don't know anybody personally who was over there. I just remember hearing stories. Like I remember like classmates who parents was over there or stuff like that.
Yeah.
If y'all hear any like little noise, y'all see us looking off. People that's watching, both of my kids are here, so they're like sneaking in and out the room.
We
They
have
come
the
and blowing
littles.
kisses, and they watching movies and yelling. So it's not us like looking at ghosts or nothing. It's really other humans in the house.
That was a crazy war.
It was, and I remember like when my cousin enlisted, and it was like they were still over there fighting. I was kind of scared he was gonna have to go, but that never happened. For some reason, I thought they was gonna end up calling my dad back, and they were saying
you remember
like
everybody was scared that they were gonna.
they were saying they were gonna end up making
draft
bets
people.
and start drafting people.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, they gonna send my daddy back over there, but none of that ever happened. So thank God for that. And like I said, I don't know nobody personally who was over there, so I never lost anybody to that war, which is great. My family that's just over there in the Middle East, like none of their lives got lost because of the war. So
remember, gas prices got so high.
oh my god, yes.
Gas prices were so.
Gas is high now. Gas is high now.
Obama also, what was it? When was the recession for our generation?
08.
And he changed
No,
that.
No, because 08 was the end. No, 08 he got reelected the second time, right?
No, 08 was the first time.
But yeah, it was 08. It was 08. Oh yeah, because he went through 08 and 16.
Yeah, Obama was really that man.
Yes, he was.
Shout out to OB.
But
I wonder what he's doing now. If he
chilling, he don't.
I wonder if he miss us.
Speaking of him missing us, whenever, and we're gonna talk about this, like try to get this real quick to go into the next part of our millennial tour. But going into Trump, remember when things got so bad, everybody was tweeting Obama, we miss you, we miss you,
Obama,
come back. And there's pictures of Obama on vacation. We was like, Obama don't give a damn about us.
He on vacation while the world is falling apart.
But we know all the Trump scandals, we know all of that. But let's talk about the biggest thing that happened during Trump's presidency, and it was
COVID.
At the end, it was COVID.
Remember, he said it. Let me tell y'all. Trump had us so convinced that COVID was not real. Me and Sharis got sick we were so sick.
Yeah, I'm trying not to laugh. I'm about to start crying. I'm laughing so hard for certain things.
Could not figure out what was wrong. I'm like, why can't we get better? Like, just sick, I'm taking all this NyQuil.
NyQuil, Theraflu. I'm talking about overdosing on cold medicine, Mucinex.
Not understanding what's wrong. And then, a month or so later, COVID is real, y'all. I'm like, so we freaking had COVID. I know we had COVID.
It was, our college had homecoming November. This was 2019. It was like after homecoming, before Thanksgiving. So like mid-November is when we got sick as hell. Had no idea what the fuck, like why are we sick? This is what I hope they're talking about. December comes, January when they started talking about COVID. It was like, oh, that's some shit over there. You know, according to Trump, it was China. Over there.
China.
Here come end of February. She got a flight voucher. I was like, yo, let's take a trip real quick. You know, let's go to Indianapolis. Use your flight voucher. I'll buy my flight. We're gonna have a good little 4 days out there. We in the hospital. We in the airport. People got on masks. We like,
what are y'all doing?
Look at this fool. Like, she ain't even in America. Whatever. Ain't even in America.
So
whatever.
empty.
Airport empty as hell. Flights was cheap. We're like, y'all tripping. We go to Indianapolis. We have a ball. We are at the club every night. We at the park. We have a house party. We just living our lives. Okay. Come back a week later, sick all over again. And I was like, ain't no way. Because they said whatever that virus is, if you catch it, you can't catch it again. So maybe this is.
Couldn't catch it again.
And it was also.
I remember they said black people couldn't catch it.
It was like not freezing cold in February. We was in Indianapolis. It was like the Midwest.
What about the night we went? When did we go to Chapel Hill?
So that was in March. So we ended up like starting to feel sick. Didn't get bad. Go to Chapel Hill. And the next day, they shut the entire North Carolina down. Shut the whole thing down because of COVID.
We went out with a bang.
Me and Tiyoda was like, But we done got COVID 3 times. We ain't never gonna get this shit again. We ain't never
I've
gonna
had
get this
COVID
shit.
at least 5 times.
We ain't never gonna get this shit again. We had so much COVID during the beginning stages of COVID. We was condensed. Now, what I can say, honestly, to this day, I have never tested positive. It was twice where I thought that I might have had it whenever it was like it was big. Tested negative both times, and then when I was going in labor because I had a COVID baby, I had to get tested. Never tested positive. Had some symptoms, never tested positive. But prior to, before they even knew what testing was, I know for a fact I probably had COVID for 5 months straight. You couldn't tell me. There's no amount of money that like you can give me for me to be like, oh, I never had it. I know for a fact.
Y'all, I was so used to COVID. I was so that I remember laying in my bed one day and I just felt sick. I said, I bet you I got COVID. Next day, I couldn't smell nothing, couldn't taste nothing. I was like, well, here go time number 5. Like, I know I had COVID 5 times. I didn't even bother taking the test because I knew I couldn't smell, I couldn't taste. I was just going and making coffee, like, trying to smell it. I was like, well.
But I ain't gonna lie, the way that Donald Trump handled COVID, say what you want to say. Shit was funny.
Remember, he got COVID and he was trying to hold in his cough.
Listen,
that's the only time I ever felt bad for him. I was like, he's really just a fragile old man.
First off, him calling it China virus. I'm sorry. It was funny. It was China, and it wasn't because it was called the China virus. It was him saying China. Like, why? Why are you saying it like that? Him having it and then trying to say like he got some different strain and it's not real. Him saying his immune system is built better. People are dying that have never died before. Him saying you got to drink Clorox and people were really doing that shit.
Y'all, the markets. I remember I had to pay $25 for a 12-pack of tissue. I couldn't.
Remember you couldn't find no tissue?
Couldn't find
tissue. At least you could find tissue.
People were buying. You couldn't find Clorox wipes anywhere. Everybody was buying up all the disinfectants.
But you know what? You know what wasn't expensive? You know what wasn't expensive? Flights, hotels, and gas.
Yeah.
So
none of that was expensive.
Shout out to my stimulus checks that I got for me and all of my kids.
The stimulus checks were nice. They were a time. What else was with COVID? Of course, that's when everybody started working from home. No, don't nobody want to go back to the office.
Yeah, it started just remote, everything remote.
Everything is delivered.
Oh my God. When I say, and then like all the delivery stuff had no like fees and things. But it's some businesses who took that COVID was it contactless curbside? They took it, ran with it, and made it perfect. Target probably has the best curbside that they started during COVID that is just so great now. I don't go in a store if I don't have to. And that's even now.
COVID also made us lazy. People don't do nothing no more.
I ain't gonna lie. And it has nothing to do with me being scared of getting sick or I just don't want to. I get all my groceries on Instacart. I order food off of DoorDash like 3 times a week. I do everything. Walmart curbside, Target curbside, Walgreens curbside. If you can bring it out to my car, I'm going to let you bring it out to my car.
Yeah.
Shout out to COVID for that. If nothing else, shout out to you for that.
And then the sad part of COVID. Did you lose anybody to COVID?
I did not lose any. Well, I did lose an uncle, and it's never been reported how he passed.
With COVID.
But we don't know if he even ever had COVID. We don't know. But he's the only person that I know that passed in April of 2020.
Yeah, so many people died during COVID. I used to get so annoyed. That's why I would get so annoyed. I'm like, it's not real, it's fake. Like, do you see all these people? And then it changed how people went to funerals. You couldn't even have some. You couldn't have funerals or very limited. We had my cousin's funeral during COVID, and it was very limited. Like, they don't let you hug each other. You can't console each other. And then what really got me,
just eerie.
It was what really got me was like people that had to die alone. Like, you go into the hospital and then you dying from COVID, and nobody can be there with you.
That's COVID. I can't imagine having to go through something like that. Like,
everybody acted like the common cold did not exist. You did not want to cough or sneeze around anybody.
Absolutely not. Because you was automatically one of the 7 plagues. You coughed around anybody.
And of course, black people made a joke into it.
Yeah, of course.
I always think about that video of some man talking on TV and he coughed and he was like looking around like, oh,
I mean, how many names we have for COVID?
Girl, COVID has been so much.
It'll be called the panorama.
Oh my God, I remember the panorama.
Listen, panorama,
the Paramore.
Like, we've had so many names for it. Like,
girl, COVID was
the fact that we've even said COVID this many times is wild because
COVID was a time.
while he wasn't calling it the panini.
The panini.
Listen,
oh my God.
we've called it every
What's
little
the
thing.
actual pandemic? I'm like, what's the real name?
And it's because like some people lost so much.
Yeah,
and
you have to
and
make
even if you
jokes out of
didn't,
your trauma.
think about if you live by yourself. Now you
Yeah.
really stuck in the house by yourself 3
Can't
months.
see nobody.
I was stuck in the house with my 2 kids every day.
Holidays weren't the same. You couldn't be around your family.
I had a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old at the time. Them kids drove me crazy. Like, imagine if I didn't have friends who I was already around that I trusted to come to my house.
Mm-hmm.
They would have drove me crazy.
I remember when, and that's another thing that Black people did, when that was like, if you have to be around people like little, and
make your own pod.
Yeah, that Black people was like, we're the only people who think that they say
no, because
social distancing, and that still means just be around people that you want to hang out with. Like, different people every week.
I ain't gonna sit here and lie because we was together all the time.
Hanging out
but I mean, I was having like little parties, but any party I had, the same people would be at the house, and I always had masks at the door. I'm like, if you don't feel comfortable, you can here, take this. But
I remember I wouldn't go anywhere. I really would not leave my house to do nothing.
I'm disinfected. We doing everything. But if y'all want to come over, because I would have the same people over just because I was about to sit in my house just twiddling my thumbs the whole time. I have a COVID baby, which means I was pregnant during COVID. Being pregnant during COVID was a totally different experience. I've had 2 kids regularly, and I had a kid during COVID. Doctor visits, like most of them, my child's father couldn't come with me. He only could come to the ultrasounds. The other ones I had to go to by myself. He had to sit in the car. I had to get tested every single time I went to the hospital, which I'm so glad I never had to get the original test. I used to go all the way up. I only had like the regular swab, but still, every single time I had to have my mask on the entire time I was in labor. I was only able to take it off when I was actually pushing, which is wild because you already like thought you can't breathe. You already hot, and I got a mask on too. It was just a whole lot. Nobody was there except for like his father. Couldn't have no visitors. If his father would have ever walked foot out of that hospital, he wouldn't be able to come back for him for another 24 hours. I was like, they were like, you can deliver food. The people had to bring the food in to the front desk. They had to scan it and then send somebody like up to get the food. It was just so wild.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about because it's not normal. But now some hospitals still are kind of with that same thing. Like, we don't need this many visitors. Like, because they knew that it could run without it being so much. They just kept it like that. That's how a lot of businesses are doing. We don't need this many people working on a shift because we was able to do it without it during COVID. Like, all right, cool. It's like becoming like the new normal. You don't even realize that it's a change that happened during the pandemic. But Trump, you handle that shit hilariously.
Speaking of Trump,
oh God,
let's speak on Hillary.
Okay, her emails.
But her emails. The experience of having a woman run for president, and then it being my favorite political woman, and this is a hill that I die on. Hillary Clinton is the most qualified person to have ever run for president that has ever existed in White House politics. I don't care what nobody says.
I'm gonna let her handle this argument because I'm not a politician. I'm not a political girl. Listen,
Hillary Clinton damn near ran Obama's presidency. She ran her husband's presidency. Why did y'all not vote for Hillary?
I'm just gonna say I voted for Obama because he was Black.
Why didn't y'all vote for Hillary?
I voted for Hillary because she was a woman, and I was not voting for Trump. And I voted for Biden because I was not voting for Trump.
Why did y'all
do I regret any of those decisions? Maybe. Will I say which one? No.
Let me tell you something, Joe.
Listen.
You will never get another thing from me with your raggedy. You will get nothing, which is more than what you deserve. You will never. I mean, I don't even want to say your name.
Sleepy Joe.
I don't even think that I have a president. And Kamala.
Not Moneybag Joe.
Miss Harris. All you care about is your silk press. Oh, and I say the presidency has been such a mockery for the last 12 years.
We hope that we can keep our mind.
For real. I'm telling y'all done made me just forget about Hillary. That was the best time of my life. I remember watching her when they said that she was going to be the Democratic nominee and all her little balloon. Remember that on Twitter when her balloons fell and everybody made the jump.
Maybe.
Pantsuit Hillary.
Oh, can somebody please just stop her doing it out? Please use it as a gif. Please, I need it.
I was sitting on the couch with my mama and my daddy, And my daddy was he's like, come on, he was so happy for me because he know I love her. And then balloons fell, and I just cried like a baby. I was so happy. Why didn't y'all vote for her? I solicited votes. I did things for votes. Technically, she did win the popular vote.
I was about to say, we're not going to say they didn't vote because she did.
Yeah, they need to do away with electoral college. That's a conversation for another day.
Yeah, we don't even have the time.
To get into that.
We're not us 46 minutes in, and all we talked about was presidents and COVID.
Okay, and COVID. This going to be a longer. This will be a long one.
And then we're not cutting it into two parts. You're going to listen all the way through because I said so. But let's get into something like a little more lighthearted, something that, more
what
people
else happened during
might want to hear about.
Millennials?
We have lived through the greatest era of sports than any other generation.
Listen.
I do not care. Like I said, if you do not agree, debate your grandmother or grandfather or great aunt, whoever is older than us.
I don't have a great aunt.
You don't? Your grandma don't got no siblings?
They're all dead. So yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not, because why would you say what? Now it looks like I'm laughing at your dead eyes, and I'm not. But why would you say that? But no, seriously, like
let's talk about sports.
Like, regardless, like who you consider your GOAT in basketball, whether it be Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, Steph Curry, somebody that we didn't name.
Somebody said Larry Bird yesterday, and I was shocked because I've never heard
you would
say
never ever hear me say that a Celtic is the greatest at anything.
I'm like, oh, Larry.
Except being a rival. Like, between, like, football, you got Tom Brady, and as much as I don't want to say it, like, being probably the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. This man won 6 rings for his team, left his team, and helped Antonio Brown get a Super Bowl ring. Like, amazing. You got black gymnasts, like Dominique Dawes was a thing.
Simone Biles.
And then she was a thing, just a thing. And then years later we got Gabby Douglas, and right after her, Simone Biles.
Do you know she's competing again? She's back in doing her competition.
Who, Gabby?
No, Simone.
Simone, yes, and she won first place in the competition she was just in. Like, track, they was talking about Allison Felix, who literally had a baby, came back out there and did great. Got Sonya Richards-Frost, like Shakari. You got the Jamaican one who's also fast as hell. You got Usain Bolt. You got
Michael Phelps. Do y'all remember Michael Phelps? Remember he raced that fake shark?
Yes.
That CGI shark.
Like, just, you got, even with baseball, you got people that's great, like Derek Jeter and the Yankees. And maybe I'm biased for some person I can think about right now. It's the only person I'm going to say. I mean, shout out to Aaron Judge, because you did great last season. You're also a Yankee. But just, we have lived through the greatest era of sports.
We have seen LeBron come into his own.
Like,
what a wonderful man.
I mean, from high school to now, 20 years later.
Yeah. What's some things that has shaped? Oh my God.
The career you have had.
Everybody trading. Because when LeBron went to, he was like, I'm taking my talents to South Beach.
Yes. And everybody was like, oh, we won a big 3-2. We won a big 3-2.
Yes,
like, amazing time in basketball. And
that's
I'm not gonna lie.
I've ever seen people burn jerseys.
I'm not gonna lie. I am a hater. Okay, I will be the first to admit it. I am a hater. If you are a athlete and you play for a team that's not my team, and you are great at what you do, I hate you. I am a hater. I am never gonna pay you a compliment. The moment that you stop playing against my team, you either come to my team or you're not a competition for me anymore, or you're done with the sport altogether. I would give you all your props, hence LeBron James and Tom Brady. Because 5 years ago, you would have never heard me say anything good about neither one of them, ever. You couldn't have paid me to pay them a compliment.
I fully believe LeBron James is the best all-around basketball player of all time. I don't think anybody else does it like him.
I'm not going to debate you. I'm not going to debate you. I'm also a firm believer in, like, every decade having
that's better than people just getting so upset.
Because everybody's really big on, no, like, Jordan is the best. Jordan is the best. No, Kobe is the best. No, LeBron is the best. Mm-hmm. I think for people who are actually watching basketball in, like, 88 to 96,
they're going to say
Jordan is your GOAT. Like, because who was better than Jordan then? And mind you, there were some great players then. But who was better than Jordan then? I mean, who got 6 rings? Who three-peated twice? Like, it was Michael Jordan. Nobody's taking that from it. There's nobody on earth who's ever going to say, nah, Jordan's trash. And if you say that, then you're
You're
clearly
just
you're
baiting.
you're saying that.
You're baiting.
Yeah, you're saying that to get somebody to
You
argue
want
with
to
you.
argue.
Then you got after that, you got the 2000s. Like Kobe had his run in 2000s. Granted, other people had their run in the 2000s.
But
AI deserves to be in the most influential players ever. I hate they don't add him to the list. But Kobe had his 2000 runs. Then you got, when it comes to the 2010s, like up until now, you got to give it to LeBron. Now, granted,
that powder. Oh my God, I used to walk around the house.
And we not about to take away from Kyrie, KD,
Dwayne Wade,
D-Wade, Steph Curry. Like,
there's so many.
They're also hella. It was like a hella resurgence in 2010 when it came to basketball.
Everybody was watching.
I really feel like it depends on the decade where you was really paying attention to who you consider your GOAT.
Yeah.
Because I mean, yeah, GOAT means greatest of all time, but there's no way that can ever be one. Yeah, and it's always gonna be subjective. It's always gonna be
subjective. Yeah. But I think Michael Jordan is going to go down as who the people say is the best basketball player of all time.
I think he may be the most known, the most notable, most popular, most famous of all of them. And I'm not going to say that for him. Like,
shout out to Jordan.
I own like almost 30 pair of Jordans. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, shout out to you. But I do think we lived through the best era of
Black
sports.
people was watching golf.
Because shout out to Tiger.
My daddy loves Tiger Woods.
We watching tennis. Serena and Venus, like
we watched the rise of America's team and also the fall of it.
We failed too. We failed.
5 Super Bowl. The Cowboys were in the 90s.
That was a dynasty.
Come on now.
That was a dynasty.
That's why everybody hates us. My daddy hates the Cowboys because of how good we were in the 90s.
Ain't it crazy to think that y'all were so good in the 90s, but it was 94, so it was early 90s.
96.
I thought the last
our Super Bowl win is 95, 96.
Oh, I thought it was 94. Oh, sure.
Positive.
Okay. I'm not going to debate you on any Cowboys information. What do you want? You want to compare him because I hate to the camera? But, I mean, and I'm a Steelers fan, and Steelers have a legacy of their own, okay? I'm just saying. But
y'all do.
We won a couple Super Bowls during my time. We went to 3 during my time.
They did.
I ain't watched the rise. I definitely watched a good little climax and a deep dive. But
yeah, sports was amazing.
Come say hey, come on. You want to get in the camera so bad?
Hey.
Bye. So yeah, like other generations, y'all can say what y'all want. We won. When it comes to sports, we win. And honestly, y'all in the future, we still won. Okay, I don't care if
sports is gonna be crazy in the future.
I don't care if y'all players freaking shoot 1,000 points a game. Y'all still ain't beating us. Okay, we won. And Wilt Chamberlain never scored 100 in a game. I don't care nobody saying. So Kobe holds the record. Period.
I believe he did.
You believe dinosaurs exist too, but that's a topic for another day.
Don't.
But not only do we live through the best era of sports, we are the reason. We are the generation. We are reality TV.
Yeah, reality. Oh my God, reality TV. What's the first reality TV show you remember watching?
I want to say Flavor of Love.
Oh yeah, that's the one that I think. But I'm
trying to think if there's another one. Excuse me, that I might have watched that was before, but I can. My brain automatically goes to
Flavor of Love. The first one I watched was Nick and Jessica. That's the best reality TV show ever because it was real. Okay. It was real and it wasn't scripted and it wasn't fake.
I think Flavor of Love brought us into reality TV, like how reality TV is today. That's the blueprint.
Real world.
I never watched The Real World. I have no idea what the real world is. I want to go on
that show so bad. But yeah, Flavor of Love, and then that led into like basketball wives, Love and Hip Hop.
Just all them dating shows, stuff like The Bachelor. Like
The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. I used to watch that.
I mean, my favorite like social construct, social competition show if ever starts in the year 2000. That's Big Brother.
Yeah, I used to watch Big Brother.
Considered reality. Which is real reality. They got live feeds. That shit be getting real. But that's another story.
There's a very fine line between reality TV and real.
Yeah.
Like, but you can tell when the shows are scripted.
I just think, like, Flavor of Love became, like, the blueprint for
a lot of shows.
Reality TV that we see today. Mainly because of New York.
She's so iconic.
Like, New York is an icon.
The most iconic reality. Her and Nene Leakes.
Her, Nene, and Jocelyn. I'm giving it to them 3. I think they're the most quotable. They're the most like notable. But it's just like New York would walk, so Nene can run, so Jocelyn can fucking fly and beat bitches up. Like it's crazy. But that's how the shit got started. It was literally she was the New York is the blueprint.
New York is
And
HBIC, as she said.
okay, and nobody can ever take that from her. And I think that also is so like influential on like our generation because people say like we talk in TikTok or we talk in Twitter, we talk in reality TV quotes. That's just that's just like our natural language, and it comes from people on those shows having such like funny one-liners or like most iconic one-liners that we can just use in everyday language.
Yeah,
like she just said, HBIC, that shit came from New York. Like, who gonna chat me boo? That shit came from Sharis. Like, I said what I said. That's Nene. Yeah. Hey, Maid.
I quote people Jocelyn. All day, every day.
And it's all from our social media reality TV presence.
Social media. Oh, my God. First of all, social media. How did we start off with little old AIM and then go to MySpace, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and it's just going and going.
I can tell you why. Because we are the reason for the birth of the modern day internet. Shout out to Al Gore and his internet. Shout out to Al Gore's internet because we learned this technology. We learned how to code in 4th and 5th grade.
So much.
Like,
oh my God.
Do you remember when you used to think you had to type www before every website?
I do. I remember when you couldn't be on the phone and use the internet at the same time.
Oh my God, that sound. It's ingrained.
My daddy used to buy us a little 30-day trials for the internet. You have to put a CD in the computer
They used to come in the mail, and you go put them in your CD-ROM thing, and then when 30 days is up, by the time 30 days was up, another one already be there. You just put that one in.
Put it in, and
you would never have to pay. As long as you had phone, as long as you had your phone, your internet was good. You just re-sign it. You've got mail.
Oh my God! Yes.
When I say those sounds, but honestly, that whole dial-up, like the sound of it, it was that one part that goes.
Just sitting there waiting.
I was like, oh my God, it's almost done. It's almost done.
You tell kids that today, and they're like, what do you mean?
You remember LimeWire and BearShare?
I do. I used to make CDs. Oh my God.
How many times did you fuck up your computer on LimeWire?
Girl, listen.
How many songs did you download that you think was like,
and there was
Shawty Like Mine, and it was like, you thought you downloaded a song, but really, this is not the song.
I remember people used to sell. We would give people lists, and they would burn our CD for like $2.
Oh, I had an iPod girl. I would give her my iPod, and she would upload it with songs for me.
We saw the birth of the iPhone.
Okay, shout out
Steve Jobs.
Shout out Steve Jobs. Rest in peace, King.
Apple is. I don't even know a word to explain the influence Apple has on technology.
But Apple has had an influence on technology for the longest because when Dell and Gateway computers was out and Mac had them colorful, they was like bubble backs and it was colorful. Listen,
they were so cute.
Steve Jobs said, "Oh yeah, I'm on to something."
I'm on to something.
He took a bite out of that apple. He took a bite out of that apple, and baby, it took off.
There's something in Apple that brainwashes people because I have seen so many phones that are so much better than iPhones, but I won't buy them because I just want to have an iPhone.
I just want to have an iPhone,
and I don't crazy.
You know what I think it is for me, and it happened after I bought a computer like last year before last. I got like a regular PC. It's an HP. And I was on it, and I hadn't used a PC in so long because even when I was at Central, I would just go right to the Macs. I had a MacBook. I was literally on Google on my iPhone. How do you download stuff on a PC? How do you open up stuff? Because growing up, all we ever used was PCs. I didn't use my first Mac until college. Yeah. I had used it my whole life, but I have been for the last 12 years, just so like laser focused on Apple, on like the Mac OS. I ain't know how to use my computer at all. Still right now, I'm still Googling like
how to do stuff.
I just downloaded something on my PC. Where did it go? The whole time it's
right on my right there.
It's right on my home. I'm like, oh, it's right there. How do you take a screenshot? I don't know how to do nothing.
Oh my God.
I feel about dumb as hell, but can guide you through how to use your iPad with my eyes closed. I know exactly where to go because of Apple's influence.
Apple's influence is crazy.
But there's also people that's like the exact opposite. It's still our generation. Can tell me how to use my PC, eyes closed, like, pick up an iPhone and be confused. I'd be like, but all you gotta do is just press one button. Like,
I know that was so hold down scary for like the older generation to just see how technology is, because most of them don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
So when they call in places and they're trying to get assistance, I know it's so frustrating because it's like the person on the phone is expecting you to know how to do it because we were born into it. They don't know anything. They're so computer illiterate.
Like now, like for example, my grandma, we bank with the same bank. So if she sends me money, she'll text me like, "Can you send me your account number again? I deleted the text message." I'll send her my account number, and she'll go into the bank, send the money.
Mm-hmm.
If I ever want to send my grandma anything, I just Zelle it because it just goes.
Yeah,
and she don't really, cause like she don't have her Zelle set up, but it's set up because we have the same banks. I can just send it over. She's like, "Did you ever? I didn't give you my account number. Did you ever go to the bank?" I'm like, "Grandma's already in your account. Just check. How did you do that?" Like girl, I just
and they're so impressed
like,
by everything.
Oh, and I was like, next time I wish I could set yours up. Oh, that's just too much. I'm like, Grandma, going to the bank and writing on a deposit slip and putting in my number and giving them the money is too much. Being on your phone and being like, take my phone number, send the money.
I still have people in my family who write checks. They still have a check.
My grandma still write checks.
I had a cousin who refused to get rid of her flip phone. She had a flip phone all her life.
Yeah, my grandma, she'll still send me a check. She'll be like, Sharis,
checks in the mail.
Sharis, I sent you a check for the kids for their school clothes. I wrapped it up in some paper so nobody would know what it is. I'm like, Grandma.
It's crazy how much has changed from their generation to our generation.
Yeah.
And then imagine how much is going to change from our generation to the next. Like, my niece, they don't teach people how to write cursive anymore. She can't sign her name.
Yeah, they don't teach cursive no more.
Like,
but it's because
it's a dying.
But it's because now you have to sign anything. Paper. It's like all like DocuSign.
Everything is electronic.
You type your name, you click the button, it makes it cursive. My daughter is 8.
That's so scary.
I have an 8-year-old daughter, a 4-year-old son, and a 2-year-old son. All of them know my daughter can work her iPhone. My sons know how to work the
they're
TV.
Born into technology.
Like my 2-year-old walks into the house, says, Mo, presses on, and it points like right there. Like he knows which one is YouTube and everything. They're gonna be like
their generation is gonna be so smart.
Honestly,
they might give us the flying cars we thought we were gonna have in the year 2000.
Like right now, I think we are the like most educated like generation.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have like, the most degrees. We like they're the most like enrolling in school. We learn stuff quick. Them babies, the ones out there, they're called like what Generation Alpha we just seen.
Generation Alpha, they're gonna be so advanced.
They are going to be geniuses, and our grandkids. Oh no. I'm gonna be my grandma, like, oh, let me Zelle you the money. I'm like, Grandma, what?
Just do
it like this, and the money is in my account. I'm like, what? And it's gonna say money sent.
School is gonna be so crazy for them.
Can you imagine them reading our history books like COVID?
That happened.
That's like us reading like bubonic plague, measles, polio. They're gonna be like,
how
COVID.
did you say that word?
The bubonic plague.
Plague?
The plague. It's plague.
It's plague.
It's
PLAGUE.
It's bubonic plague.
No,
it's not. You call them the 7 plagues in the Bible.
It's plague. It's not
well,
plague.
I learned it was the 7 plagues in the Bible.
No.
Oh, well, that's how I learned how to pronounce it. Maybe it's 2 ways.
Either.
Maybe it's 2 ways. So E at the end.
Plague.
Oh, well, I say plague.
Then that's like the 3rd time you said it. But I was like, is she really saying it like that? I thought you were just talking.
Oh, no, that's really how I say it.
Oh, wow.
Maybe it's one of those words where there's multiple ways to pronounce it.
Mm-mm.
Maybe because it came from English and we Americanized it.
I've never heard anybody say it like that.
When I was raised in the church, they called it the 7 plagues. They didn't say the 7 plagues. They said the 7 plagues. Plague sound like a country way to say plague.
Plague would be PLE.
I mean, but things are always spelt wrong in the English language.
I've never heard anybody. I'm so perplexed. I've never heard it say it like that.
Oh yeah, I've always pronounced it like
the
that.
Plague. I'm not yelling at you. I'm just saying it in my head. Like
I just know when they taught us the 7 plagues in the Bible, they taught us the 7 plagues. But plague sound like a country way to say plague, honestly. I mean, plague could be correct, but plague and plague sound country. It sounds like a country way to say plague. Y'all tell us in the comments how y'all say. I say plague or plague. I say data or data.
Oh my God, never. My brain is like, wow. Okay, so moving on. Since we were talking about school, that is going to bring us into something that our generation has had to become accustomed to that we should never have come accustomed to.
We're going to throw a trigger warning out here. If you are sensitive to violence, to shooting, to pum-pums, skip ahead or whatever. If not, then
If you're a millennial, you
Be-
should be used to this, and we should not be used to this.
no,
but
not at all.
school shootings.
Whew.
Our generation birthed school shootings.
Let me start by asking this: have you ever been involved in not involved in, but have you ever had any schools you ever went to had a school shooting? Had
Never.
somebody bring a gun to school? Had to be on lockdown because of maybe
No.
a gun, anything like that?
Central, when they said that Central had, but they were
Central
all
don't count.
They
bro.
were all fake.
Central don't count. Central because they was shooting across the street and they
yeah,
consider
and they
that
would
on
tell
campus.
us, but no,
If y'all know, Central be like.
I've never been in a situation like that ever.
I've never been in a situation like that, but the year after I graduated at my old high school in Dillon, this girl did bring a gun to school, and the school got put on lockdown. She got arrested, and that was like the first. I was like, oh my god, Dillon High School has a school shooting. It wasn't no damn shooting.
Yeah, I've never been.
I think she was like, I think she brought it to like, fuck somebody up, but. Yeah, I've never been involved in either. Thank God, and I pray that none of my kids ever have to be involved in
that's so
it.
scary. Eric and Dylan, y'all have no idea what y'all did, but I think y'all do because that's what y'all wanted to do.
Yeah.
Columbine shooting. That is the first school shooting that I guess everybody really knew about because at the time it was the biggest mass shooting. And can you imagine? Only 15 people got killed, and that was the biggest.
That was like the biggest mass, like just
the biggest mass shooting at the time.
That's wild. That was 99, right?
99. 420.
It was on 420. Yeah, that's wild.
15.
See, I don't think I heard about Columbine until Virginia Tech happened.
Oh my God, I remember Virginia Tech. That's the second one I remember is Virginia
Tech. And Virginia Tech was my 7th or 8th grade year. So I didn't hear, and that's when because that became, I think that was like the next big one.
Yeah, that was the next big one.
And it was like,
Tech.
It was like, we haven't had a school mass shooting since. And I was like, oh, what's Columbine? And I tried to look Columbine up on my school computers and it was blocked. And then I got called to the office, like, why are you looking this up? I was like, because the Virginia Tech thing, and they said it was the biggest one. It was like, oh, we had a flag year. I'm like, I ain't trying to school, like to shoot up the school. They had to go home and look it up. And
Eric and Dylan went up in that school and just raised hell. And
it's like now, because that happened in 99. So that was what, 20? A long time ago. Let's see, 2, 1, 2, like 24 or 5 years ago. And to like think about that now, you can't turn on the TV
without it. You can't go. Oh my God, the when that man went into that church and killed those people in Charleston and Obama that song that we've had. It's so many school
you got
shootings.
Sandy Hook.
The current one with the little kids in
Texas. Uvalde, something like that. It's one of those. Pronounce one of those. It's the grocery store
the
and
Boston bombing. There's been so many.
And honestly, I don't even want to get into the whole like gun laws, like why those should change, all of that, because we can have a whole episode on that alone. I did like my final speech in school about that, but it's crazy how in 99 that was like the biggest one, the like most prominent one, and now it's like can't really come on TV, and it's scary for anybody. It's like honestly, and it should be scary for anybody. But being a parent who has kids in school, that shit is traumatizing. Like when my daughter started going to her new school, the principal made a note like you can't go into any of the buildings. You got a key card. Every school like around here, they have like a little Ring camera on the front door. You have to like press the button. They have to ask you who you are, and it like looks at your face because you already have your picture on like your profile. Like I have to upload my picture every year so it can update, because I can't just be like, oh, I'm so and so's mom.
And you used to back then, you could just walk in and do anything.
Like even at my kids' daycare, there's a sign on the door that says, "Do not hold door open. Let's keep our kids safe." So, and of course, it's rule. You put the code in, because like my 4-year-old, he knows the code to daycare. That's rude to put in the code. As a parent walking in right behind you, you think you just walk in like not letting. Like you want to hold the door open, but
it's safety, and it's crazy because we have all these precautions and stuff still happens. Like you could just be at work and somebody comes in mad and kills you.
Yeah, because like you think, because like
everybody has access to a gun.
You think about like safe space like schools or daycares or places that got metal detectors. You don't think about McDonald's.
Yeah,
you don't
or
think about Walmart. You don't think about
the grocery store.
You don't think about you working at like TGI Fridays or some shit.
And somebody just comes in and kills you.
Like
guns are too accessible. I don't care. They're too
accessible.
No,
it's entirely too accessible. And it also is one of the things where imagine it not even be like somebody who had nothing planned out. So I could just be mad. Like, I'm mad at my manager.
I'm just mad.
I'm going in there.
The guy at Walmart just did that.
And today I'm mad at my manager, but anybody that's in my way to get to him
is gonna get killed. Like those people at the bank, they were in their freaking morning meeting, and he just came in mad because he was fired and killed everybody on Zoom.
And it's like,
it's insane.
It's really sad to think about, and it's also sad to think about how desensitized we are from, because it'd be like,
it's so used to
it. It's more, instead of now us being like, oh my God, it's like all these kids out of school. It's like, you heard about the school shooting today? You heard about the shooting today? You heard about the shooting today? Like
every other day.
Did you hear about the 3 shootings today? Because it's all the time, and it's really, really sad. And it's sad that like now at schools they do like active shooter drills.
Yeah,
we was in the hallway like this.
Like we didn't have to do that.
You ever seen that meme? Just to veer off real quick. It's a meme of kids in the hallway doing like this, and it's a tornado emoji on my side. Someone say, "LOL, what the fuck y'all doing?" Because what? Or like the earthquakes, they're supposed to get on the floor under the desk. And I was like, but what if the floor breaks open?
What do we do?
I get y'all don't want the ceiling to fall on us, but what if we fall in the hole? And then of course, fire drills, you gotta go outside. Yeah, but now they're like,
active shooter could be doing the drill with y'all.
But it's some that like I've seen like on TV, so it's like TV shows. So of course, it could be, real like dramatized and stuff. But they have ones where they do like fake sounds and stuff just so they can know what it sound like. Don't be at my child elementary school and y'all playing gunshots over the intercom so they know what it sound like. And that's really gonna like scare the hell out of a child. Like, but they have to go through things like that to know what to do.
We never had to do that. And it all started with Dylan and Eric.
I even did that shit in college. We at my community college last semester.
Yeah, and
my teacher was like,
started because of Dylan and Eric.
We had a whole thing. Did it die? Okay, leave it right there. Go watch TV. I'll charge it.
But so yeah, and it just to think that started all the back, and so many people are trying to recreate what they did. It's scary. The more people that learn it, the more these crazy children want to go on a thrill.
Yeah,
and I hate that.
It has to stop.
I really hate that.
It has to stop, and we know that it ain't gonna stop on our level. We know where it has to stop at. But like I said, if we start to get into it, we'll be talking about it forever. It's a conversation for another day, and y'all know who to call. Call y'all senators and shit. Make them change the fucking laws. Enough people say something, maybe they'll listen. But something that's also just like still on the same like sad note is just as heavy hearted. We got to talk about how our generation is at the forefront of a lot of these movements. Got Me Too, got Black Lives Matter.
The Black Lives Matter movement.
And I will preface Black Lives Matter movement by saying I know there was some controversy about people that started it and where those funds are going, but we're not going to get into that. We're talking about like the movement as a whole.
The movement in itself.
What it stands for.
How it started.
Where it's at now. And shout out to us for being the ones to, do that. Because we're really in like a modern day like civil rights movement. Yeah, I can agree to that. So yeah, Trayvon.
This is a tough topic for me, y'all. This still bothers me to this day. I really can't talk about Trayvon Martin without crying.
Yeah, she can.
It's like I knew him. So I remember when I first heard about it. I was at work. It was summer. I wasn't back in college. I was at work and they just kept talking about this guy got killed. He had Skittles in Arizona. And I'm just looking into it like, what's going on? And then out of nowhere, you figure out what happened. There's outrage. This is the first time our generation really, because like before us, for them, it was Rodney King. For us, it was Trayvon. Like, why did you kill this boy? What, and then when you saw who did it and everything that transpired, then the lies that came along with it. Oh my God. Seeing his dead body out. Oh my God, y'all. That, and then for it to have started what it started, that movement, for people to take it like, well, my life matters too. Why are you jealous that we want justice for a child that was wrongfully killed?
I remember having to make a post, and this was years later. It was years later. It was after Mike Brown, because that was like the next like big one. And then there was a weekend where Alton Sterling, and then like 2 days later, Philando Castile. They both had passed.
Yes.
So it was after that happened. I remember going to work, and I was just like fed up. And I'm not gonna really say where I worked at, but I just remember on my tables where I had to like write my name, I also wrote #BLM. It got like a customer complaint, reported back to the manager. It told me to keep politics out of work. I don't understand how that's politics, but whatever. That's like beyond the point. I remember just making a post and being like, y'all do know us saying Black Lives Matter isn't us saying nobody else matters. That's why everybody was really, really big on that. No, all lives matter. If you believe that all lives matter, then you believe that Black Lives Matter. So just let us have our moment. Because
where was all lives matter during slavery?
But like Black lives are, if you're saying all, then Black is a part of that all. So let us just have that. And y'all was too busy on trying to make it inclusive for everybody. It's been inclusive for everybody. That Blue Lives Matter shit, stupid. Are they fucking avatars? Are they Smurfs? No. So what the fuck? Who blue? Who's blue? The nigga from Big Fat Liar, like when they put him in the pool, he was blue. Like his life matter, cool, great, love that. That ain't what we talking about. Do this on your own time. And that's what really, really used to piss me off because it's like, bro, this ain't even the time for that. Like, read the room.
Read the room. And another thing that irritated me about the whole, not even the Black Lives Matter movement, but the way people viewed it, and it was like, oh, well, if Black Lives Matter, why are y'all killing each other? Or where's Black Lives Matter when this happened? Black Lives Matter came about to get justice for wrongful, like, if I go out and I'm recorded shooting Sharis, I'm going to go to jail. This happened because they're not going to jail. They're killing us and nothing is happening. That is where Black Lives Matter come in, because why can you kill me and it doesn't matter? You just go about your business. And yes, Black people do get away with killing each other. So do white people. But you're not going to have a Black person kill another Black person on camera and nothing happens to you.
Exactly.
You're going to jail.
And that's what people fail to realize. Like,
exactly.
It was made for a certain reason. It wasn't made for Black on Black crime.
Thank you.
It was literally made for Black people like wrongfully being killed and the person that's doing the killing not being brought to justice. And what really, really, really sucks is that Trayvon died, 12?
I think so.
Like 2012. It took George Floyd in 2020.
It took George Floyd for us to finally get a conviction.
Because, and even if there were some before, like, they not even like that. It took the George Floyd thing for it to finally be like, all right, enough is enough. And I'm putting that in quotes because still, like, is enough enough? It's like never going to be.
That was a joyous day. Even though it was sad.
It was 8 years later. And it shouldn't have even took all it took. But like, that should have been the speediest, easiest trial because it was a video for almost 10 minutes of the shit happening. Like, it was all there. Honestly, I don't understand how George Zimmerman was found not guilty.
And I don't hate people, but that is one person. When he dies, I'm going to dance on his grave.
But it should not have taken 8 years for us finally to get some sort of conviction. Because honestly, as happy as I was for the conviction, I was at work when I seen it. It was just like, it's finally, but it also kind of felt like, did y'all really want to convict him because y'all felt like what he did was wrong, or y'all trying to use him as the example? And if y'all gonna be using him as the example, is everybody about to start getting convicted now, or is it about to be like, all right, we did this, so y'all can't complain every single time now? And if that's what it's going to be, then that shit was, I mean, I ain't going to say it was honestly for nothing because it was for something, because what happened to George Floyd should have never happened. But it's like, damn.
And
make it stick.
What also irritates me with that situation is people were, once it happened and they got the conviction, it's, oh, but he was this and he was this type of person. What he was before you killed him has nothing to do with anything.
Honestly, what he was the day y'all killed him does not matter.
It has nothing to do. You killed him for no reason.
Could have tried to say, oh, it was a fake 20.
It don't matter.
This. That does not mean you kill him. Like, that's the point that we're making. It's not who you are, what you might have been doing, but you might have been on your way to go do in that moment.
What was
did
your
nothing
reason?
to warrant him being killed.
That video, oh my God, it's so itchy. And I didn't even watch the whole thing, but I just could not.
Right.
There have been so many. It's like you can't even, Breonna Taylor, her movement, to say her name movement.
Listen,
there have been so many. Sandra Bland, I can't even name names.
Yeah.
There's been so, but I will say since George Floyd, it has not stopped, but it has slowed down a lot.
Yeah, it has because they're starting to see that they are getting convicted.
They're getting convicted.
I know it was like a white lady cop who killed. I think he was like Hispanic boy, Hispanic. Yeah. Maybe it was mixed, but she got convicted. The one who went to that dude's house, but
his family pissed me off.
Oh yeah, why? Because no, I'm rising up and I'm fucking y'all up. What y'all hugging her for? I don't care. And I was raised on forgiveness. I was raised on it. I understand forgiveness through and through. But certain things can't be forgiven. I'm not hugging you. I could sit on that stand and tell you like,
I'm not hugging you.
I forgive you for what you did. It's still fuck you though. I'm not hugging you. Hugging you? Asking a judge to give you a lighter sentence, you just killed my kid? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Oh Jesus! I just know. Yeah, that's just too much.
Yeah.
So like we saw Mike Brown in the middle of the road for hours. It's just so, and oh God, y'all, it is a lot. Like Black Lives Matter, that is such a heavy movement for us to have went through. And then so many of us, it turned us into civil rights activists. So many of our friends have like started programs, community service stuff, just to, so much has happened. What happened when everybody was looting the Target? What was that? Was that also George Brown? I mean, not George Brown. Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure. I don't know.
It was like the Watts riots. But it was like the Watts riots.
I know, like, one of the scariest things for me, and like a lot of things always come back to me being a parent, is I am raising little black boys.
That's why I don't want any.
And it's my kids are lighter skin and tone, obviously, but I have 3 black kids, and the fact that I do have to sit them down one day and explain certain things, me and their dads have to sit down with them one day and explain certain things, it fucks with me in my head. Like, damn, I have to have this talk, because me and my sibling growing up, I also have a little brother. We never had to have those talks. My parents never had those talks with us. Well, my dad and my stepdad never had those talks with us. But I know that I have to with my kids, and it's crazy to think that I gotta tell them, oh, if you get pulled over, these are the things that you need to do, just to try to make it an easier experience, because they shouldn't have to.
Right.
And I also don't want them to grow up and think like, okay, every single time I get pulled over, I gotta do this and I gotta do this, because I want them to be able to stand up for themselves, but also know, like, let me not say this, because I might not make it home. I might not make it where I gotta go. It's like a catch-22, because they have to kind of swallow their pride in a bit to just hands on the wheel, let the officer know, hey, I'm grabbing this. It's only my registration. If they do have a permit to carry, hey, I have a permit to carry. It's in there. You can open it for me. Like, to do all that, swallow their pride. And at the end of the day, still feel like, damn, I'm a black boy. I'm a black man. I just had to do all of that for a cop, for a white cop. It's like, I can see where that can, like, fuck with you in your brain. They even got things on the phone now you can, like, shortcut and tell the Apple girl, I'm not gonna say her name so she don't start going off, to, hey, I'm being pulled over. And it starts recording and sending text messages. They have shortcuts. You can do all of that now. And you shouldn't have to. But the fact that's becoming a new normal is outrageous.
Yeah, and that's always been, I've always known that in my household. Like, I've always had to hear about it.
It's so different for me.
Yeah, we grew up knowing stuff like police do not, I hate to say it, the majority of police don't like black people. I'm not going to say that, but it's just something, because of the history with police and black people, it's just something that we grew up knowing, grew up learning. You have to do this, you have to do that. And to take it back to Trayvon, that was the first time, and he wasn't even a police officer, but that was the first time it came to fruition for me, like, oh, they really don't. And I was a criminal justice major at the time. And I remember just saying, oh, this is going to be cut and dry. He's going to prison. I do think they should have went for a different charge, and I think that would have got him time. But I'm like, yeah, it's laid out black and white. He's going to prison. And I remember me and my brother don't have serious conversations, but I remember him sitting me down saying, you need to prepare yourself for what, because he's not going, like, and I'm confused, like, why would you think he's not going down? Like, he's going down. Like, he said, you need to prepare yourself because he's not going to go to prison. And I'm like, well, whatever. I sat in my dorm room, watched that verdict, and I just was so lost. I'm like, what do you mean he's not? And then the stuff he did, I'm sorry, y'all. The stuff he did afterwards,
like auctioning
stuff off, you're autographing Skittles. There is the hottest hole in hell for him. I can't wait till he goes. I really hate that man.
I remember the night when the verdict came down. I was in Indianapolis because it was like during the summer, and I was supposed to go out that night. And I wasn't old enough because most of they're like 21. I think I was still 20. I was like 19, 20. But I had my fake ID. I was ready. I was going out that night. I took a nap. And when I woke up, that's what was on the TV. I called everybody up. I was like, yeah, I'm not going out tonight.
Yeah.
And it's not even
because crushed us.
It was one because like I didn't get it. So it emotionally like was on me like I don't get how he's not guilty, but I also was like, I don't know how people are about to react. So I also don't want to be outside.
People went crazy.
Like if I'm outside and y'all like, because I'm the one I got.
Yeah,
if it's black folk out here rioting, and I'm mad too, I'm probably gonna be out here riding with y'all.
Not even just the riots, but the people celebrating. I could not understand, like, why are you celebrating? Y'all hate us that bad. And then Obama getting on saying like, oh, Trayvon could have been my son. I'm sorry. Y'all, that really bothers me. No, like to this day, that bothers me so bad. Like I was just thinking like, oh, that could have been my brother. That could have been my cousin.
I remember it was some, I can't remember what it was. I remember I was at Central though, but it was like warm outside. But it was a day where everybody was wearing hoodies.
That walk they did around,
And it was, when I say it was hot outside, it was probably like springtime.
It was so hot outside.
It was hot. We were all out there in hoodies. I'm not even just hoodies. Hoods on, marching with hoodies on. Not giving a damn. Like, because fuck being hot, that meant so much more to us.
Yeah.
And it's just the fact that so many things have happened since then.
It like, just kept going.
Because we all know the system isn't made for black and brown people. It's not at all. It's never gonna be. No matter.
It's not for us. It's against us 100%.
But shout out to our generation for understanding that and saying we're gonna try to make a change.
We're gonna make a change.
And if not, we're gonna be on the front lines for when shit happens.
I love that for us
because it done been plenty of protests and police out there in SWAT gear and this folk out there
us not caring like.
No,
we're gonna fight for us.
Like
we're gonna fight for us.
Outside, like and like nothing to do like the looting and like the burning places down. And running up and just like wanting to fight random white people. Take all of that out of it's just being out there
and being present and standing
the news
up for
being out there.
Ourselves.
You getting the mic and being like, "This is what I'm out here for." Because I got a brother, I got a sister, I got a dad, I got an uncle, I have a son.
It shaped so many of us into activists. Like I've never seen so many people my age fight for something.
And it makes me so proud of my generation because I know younger generations are seeing it. And if we went this hard, because
imagine what they're gonna do.
Think about the civil rights movement anyway. We learned about all that shit during school.
Yeah.
We took that and we said, oh,
top 10.
Like,
we gonna end it.
Now we're that. Now we're that. Because honestly, if you look back at how old they was in their 20s, 30s too.
Yeah.
We in our 20s, 30s. These kids these days gonna see that, and when shit is just as fucking bad, they about to ramp it up too. And that's some shit that I love. I love that from us because I know they really about to go hard. And I love that for them.
Speaking of them, that brings us into the 2023.
Listen.
Alabama.
Listen. I don't, and my eyes getting watery too. I don't know.
Oh, y'all, ooh.
I do not know what year Jermichael Phelps, Mr. C. Murder himself was born. But baby, I don't care if you.
16.
Oh, he's 16. Oh, so he Gen Z.
Yeah, he's Gen Z.
So listen, your parents raised you well because the way that boy swam and started looking and started swinging because
somebody asked him too. They was like, "What made you do that?" He said, "That's what my parents taught me to do."
Because listen, We're not
Look what
playing,
we're raising.
but these babies ain't playing
They're
with
not
y'all
playing with
either.
y'all. All the Karens and all that, y'all is
And
getting.
and we're not just strictly talking about when it comes to like civil rights stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We not playing when it comes to jobs. We asking for pay that we need.
Exactly.
And if we ask for pay that we need when you already can't afford shit, and it's like in this economy, trust and believe these babies is asking for the pay that they need. Okay, look at y'all up here wiping her eyes.
Sorry,
she's like,
y'all.
look, my makeup running.
Okay,
this is the realest podcast you done had so far.
The fight that we're fighting is for them.
We already trying to fight for a 4-day work week. Oh, these babies ain't going to work. Okay, these babies is leaving high school. They probably saying fuck college, starting their shit. They employing everybody. We doing it. We really setting a blueprint for these younger generations, for these people younger than us, to really like go out and make it great for themselves.
Yeah, and reach their potential.
And that's what they deserve. The same way that generations before us, like they started the workforce, they started all of that, and now it's us doing it. And we like, hold on, we ain't getting paid enough for this. We working too much for this. They seeing that shit. And they're going to do the same thing when it comes to their civil rights, when it comes to work, when it comes to pay, when it comes to education, when it comes to technology as a whole.
Equality, when it comes to who they can love.
They're coming for it.
Who they are as people. I always say the generation before, their fight should be our reward. Mm-hmm. So our fight should be their reward. It has to keep going.
It has to keep going like that. And you know, with the whole, like, we got global warming, they trying to say they don't know how much longer things are going to last. Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to fight long enough for at least them to reap something. And hopefully they here to fight long enough for the ones after them to reap something because they deserve.
We deserve.
Generation before us went through so much for us to be able to deserve. And we are reaping some of them benefits. Like, it ain't like everything ain't woe is us. Like, we are out here, shit is hard, but we out here living life the way that we deserve to live. They gonna be able to do the same exact thing. And I don't want to end it on such a sad, emotional note, but we had to get that shit out.
Right,
y'all
we had to get it out. Y'all, I am checking my notes to see if I forgot anything.
Listen, the first line I wrote in my notes is, we are clearly the best generation to ever grace this earth. And I will stand 10 toes down to that. In 40, 50 years, whenever somebody wants to come challenge me, I will allow it. But right now, as it stands today, on August 19th, 2023, Sharis has said that millennials are the best generation to ever grace God's green earth because we're not playing with y'all. We done gave y'all everything good. Everything good that is going on, a millennial got their toe in it. I don't care what y'all say. From everything we done said. I'm talking about from the funniest presidents to the most drama-filled TV to the best fucking music that we talked 4 hours about 2 weeks ago to goddamn sports to everything.
It's us.
It's us. Y'all welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
And we really hope y'all enjoyed this episode. This was a good episode. We could have kept going.
I ain't gonna lie, this was a little bit like a last minute. I was like, let me write my notes real quick. But this one was good.
Yeah, because we experienced everything that we've had to talk about.
Shout out to us for our good makeup, for our 30-inch bust downs, for us bringing back styles, switching up, making their own. Like, we did that, okay?
Shout out to the millennials. It's very good being a millennial. Shout out to us.
It's us. It's us. What would they do without us? Be sad.
Okay, y'all. So we really hope y'all enjoyed this episode.
That was a good one.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on social media.
Y'all know where to find everything.
And Sharis,
down
take
below.
us out.
And I think we did good. Please don't cancel us. I think we should keep our mics until next week.
Hopefully we will.
Hopefully we'll be able to keep our mics. See y'all on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
That was cute. I really like that.